This is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. So, today, I'm gonna do all the things that I kind of procrastinated on last time. And I think the first thing I want to draw is her hand. Let me see, I have hand reference up here. Let me pull it up again. Fortunately, there are a fair amount of pictures of people using fans as weapons, and while it's not exactly what I'm going for here, it'll give me the kind of gist of how I actually want to draw things. And I think while black is technically correct, I think I want it to be white. The joy of just being able to just very easily invert the colors, and now I'll just go ahead and put some proper colors down. But honestly, that big black spot out in the middle there was just not looking right to me, so I'm gonna go ahead, correct these colors here, and then I'll worry about drawing her hand and drawing the little branch border thing that I've got going on there, figuring out how that's actually gonna look. And once I've got those things drawn, I think it'll be time to actually start picking colors and smoothing some things out. Like, I smoothed out the outline on her hair. Mostly I see that I missed a couple of spots in here, but that's okay. And around her eyes and stuff. And so now I can start doing some of the things that'll actually start making all that look nice. This is still going to be super messy, and I am going to change the bottom of it at some point, so I'm not going to worry about making it too clean just yet. Just kind of getting everything down. Everything will be kind of messy here for a little while. Do not mind the neon green. I will clean that up later. So first thing is I want to make sure that her hand is going the right direction here. So let me take a look at how people actually hold fans. Alright, so what I think I actually want is for the thumb to be more like this. Don't mind the part that I had drawn to connect it to her hand. I was gonna change that around at some point. And like here, and then on the hand part, kind of clear this. So now her thumb is going more across the fan, and then I think I'm gonna bend the joint. I think that will look better. Yeah, I do think that looks better. The upside of having the fan black was that I could see a little bit better, so we're gonna invert it again. Even though I just fixed the colors. But, you know, that's the upside of just inverting the colors instead of coloring things, is that when I hit Control-I on my keyboard to invert the colors, all I have to do to get them back is invert it again. So that's why I do that often, whenever I just need to see what I'm doing. Makes it very straightforward, very simple. So I kind of get the best of both worlds. And I think I bent the joint a little bit too hard. So I'm gonna take it back just a little. Right now I'm just kind of trying to get the gist of the thumb itself. And I will go back and work on the rest of the hand and connect it to the thumb afterwards. Honestly, more accurately, I'm probably going to be going back and forth and kind of doing both at once, but don't worry about it. Okay, I just do whatever makes sense to my brain here. And one of the things that always helps me with the direction of the fingers is that, I don't know, I'd like exaggerate the tip of it. I always feel like there's this just tiny little pad on fingers on the very tip of it. And while strictly speaking, it's actually fairly small and not super noticeable, it kind of blends in with the rest of the finger. I just like making it just a little bit exaggerated. At least at this stage. You know, much like I do like with every curve. It just makes it easy for me to read, personally. Alright, now I'm just trying to remember how thumbs work. Let me see. How should this be lit? So, I think with the way this is facing, it's gonna be kind of like this. Where the plane that is getting hit by light is up there. And the entire nail will be in shadow. Okay. Her hand still feels a little bit twisted, but that is to be expected. I think that her index finger, or at least part of it, is going to be drawn on the thumb layer here. So I'm going to kind of send it up like this. And like I said, I'll figure out the exact details of where, I don't know, all the meaty parts and stuff should go. That'll come. That will come. But first, I just need to get them down. And when I look at the references, even when they're being swung around fairly tightly, the finger is not, like, brushing up right against it. It's more like this, where there's a little bit of a gap. And I definitely want her finger to be on the back side, so I'll probably just do it like half and half, where I have the part that's going to be on front showing up here, and then eventually it'll transition to the other layer here, where I will handle the back part. Something like that. This way, I do not have to worry about just erasing very cleanly where I want the edge of the fan to be. I can just have it. It'll just be there. It'll be great. Alright, so now it's just a matter of getting hand shape right here. And for that, as always, I will just kind of carve it out. I tend to make the pose myself. I have a couple of references up that are very helpful. Like I said, I ended up finding just a bunch of people using like fan-based martial arts and stuff, and that made it pretty easy for me to picture what I need to do here. But it's probably going to take a second before it starts looking right. Just... it always does for me. It always does. And that's why someday I would like to figure out how to make my drawings a little bit more structural. So that this way I don't have to spend quite as much time just feeling it all out. And I can just draw it and have it right immediately. Okay, so I'm gonna go put the fan itself at like 50% opacity. And then I'm gonna kind of take a look at how all of these fingers should go. And honestly, it's not too bad. but the main thing is that they need to be angled this way a bit more. And then, of course, the index finger is not going to be over there. And then, strictly speaking, I will go ahead and use this color for the light again, and this color for the dark. They're going to be spaced out a little bit more. So I had them at a bit of a different angle here, and then I'll let the pinky stick out a bit. And I think that they will also be a little bit bent. And these will not be detailed, not the slightest. This is literally just so that I can picture what's going on a little bit more clearly. So our fingers are going to be a bit bent. And that's probably fine. Okay. Not quite there, but it's closer than it was at the start, so I'll take it. Let's see here. When I look at how thumbs work, this thumb is coming forward a little bit, but not that much, so I think it needs to be a bit longer. And then the back part, even though I do have the joint bent, so here's roughly where the joint is. I'm just kind of talking myself through this too. I want the bottom part here to be pretty straight. And it's gonna look weird for a second, but that's okay. I just noticed that when I look at my thumb and I do that kind of bend, the bottom part is pretty straight. And then it kind of connects out to the wrist over here. So something like that. Something like that. Okay. I think I'm getting there. Let me see about connecting it to the arm here. See if that helps me picture things as well. And I do not think I'm going to need a nails layer for this hand at all, so I will go ahead and clear that. Am I drawing the hand backwards? This is my question. Because once again, I have this problem a lot where, because I like to use my own hand as a reference, I tend to, sometimes I draw them backwards. And now I'm looking at it here and I'm just like, should I actually have her fingers on top and her thumb in the back? And now I'm like, oh no. Okay, I need to picture the movement in my head here for a moment. Give me just a sec. I've got my eyes closed and I am picturing somebody holding fans in their hands. No, I think I have it the right way. Yeah, I think I have it the right way. We're good. Just wanted to make sure that I wasn't struggling with the hand because I was drawing them backwards again. Because, man, I'm just... Hands, how do they work? Normally I don't have that much trouble with hands, but that's because I draw them in very simple poses. This is more complicated than what I normally do. But I do want her to be holding the fan. Let me go look at my references again. Okay, I'm gonna leave the hand a little bit weird for a second, and I'm gonna go ahead and work on the fan. I'm gonna be very particular about the colors that I pick here. Now then, Yuyuko's fan, I'm gonna use some of the sprites from Immaterial and Missing Power. Or wait, I think, well, whatever. So... about, I'll say 2/3 of the way down, so probably about here. They change from the structured fan to, I guess I'll call them the wooden part. And in that, they're more like thin sticks. Are they transparent? Okay, well, I'll just draw something. But yeah, it does something like this. And... but I need to... Oh no, this is on a separate layer. I can do whatever I want. Okay, cool. I was smart. So I am embracing the non-realism here. I'm not sure how I want to draw this yet, though. Okay. I'm gonna take it one step at a time. So... there's like a stick. It's coming out. This is where I'm realizing I might need to pay more attention to the backside of her hand. I'm terrified. And then on one side, we see the top of the stick. And it's kind of like this. And I'm gonna keep him curved because, you know, like I said, we are embracing the unrealisticness of this. Very important. And at some point behind her hand, they all kind of come together. And it'll be kind of like that. Okay. Now then. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the fan itself here. I'm not gonna add a pattern or anything yet. That'll come just a little bit later. And here I can just do a simple back and forth pattern. And by clean up, I don't necessarily mean getting it completely smooth. I want it to be a little bit smoother than what I have, but I'm not gonna worry about getting everything just right. I will do my best to get rid of some of the hot pink parts though, because they bother me, but only because they bother me. So here, I'm just trying to establish the general shape of the fan. It should look like it's about ready to be finished by the time I'm done. I'm not quite sure how the bottom works yet, so I'm just gonna focus on the top while I think about that. Because this part, I know exactly how I want it to look. And in fact, it's already kind of... I don't know, I'd say maybe 70% of the way there. I'm just gonna bring it probably another 10 or 20%. I want to get kind of the unnatural curve that it's following looking just the way I want it. There we go. So, I'm kind of trying to show the folds. And this will be the exact opposite when I fold it, or reinvert the colors. So the light spot will become the dark spot. So I believe that I have this kind of the way I want it, in terms of color. I don't want this to rub up quite so closely with the border though, so I'm gonna change the shape just a tad. It's okay for it to be pretty close. I'll also be perfecting the border today. So that's kind of my goal. Finish the fan area and the border. And if I can get those two things, then I will consider today very successful. But I might need some time to figure out what's going on with the hand. That's okay. I actually do have some ideas to make that a little bit easier. I think rather than starting with the thumb, I might start with the part of the hand behind the fan. I think that part will be a little bit easier to understand. But it's pretty important to get it right because I have that hand going forward. And so it's in a really prominent spot. And it's also kind of framing her face, and it's doing all kinds of important things, so I can't really just kind of be lazy with it. Always a bit unfortunate when you can't be a bit lazy with the hands. But you know, when it comes down to it, I think it's a good policy overall. Just because if there's one thing you can do to really improve your art and make it like 100 times more expressive, it's learn how to draw hands. And start letting your characters do stuff with their hands. Trust me, it makes a massive difference. If you can just muster the energy to draw hands consistently, then the difference you'll see in your art between when you started doing that and before you started doing that, it'll be night and day. You will see massive returns. Hands are very, very worth. I'd say that they're up there with facial features in terms of things that you can do to just immediately improve your art. They're actually not that scary once you're able to break them down well. Now you can see that over here on this part of the fan, I'm actually changing it quite a lot. And that's okay. I always start with just kind of sketching out my general idea. And by the time it's time to actually make things look nice, it generally changes quite a lot. And that is okay. That is normal even, I'd go as far to say. Now, I said I didn't want this part of the fan touching the border. This part of the fan, I'm okay with touching the border. This part can touch it all at once. The most important thing here is that I wanted to overlap the back of her dress just a little bit. Because I think it brings it a little bit further forward, and it brings the dress a little bit further back. This is how I do perspective. Sometimes you can get fancy with doing proper, 1 or 2 point perspective or what have you. But me, I keep it simple. I say, okay, we do caveman perspective. Thing in front is further forward. Thing in back, farther away. If thing very big, thing far forward. If thing very small, thing far back. And even the way that I'm handling the folds in the fan also have a bit of perspective in them. If line like this, get closer together, think far back. If line further apart, think far forward. It's very nice. Actually, I don't want to select like that. I want to select closer to the edge here. I just need to, you know, do exactly what I said and start pushing the lines closer together because I want them to start receding into the background a bit. So I'm gonna do that, and then I still kind of want it covering part of her dress. So what I think I'm gonna do is make this just a touch larger and bring it down here a little bit. You know, thinking about it, maybe I should have actually perfected the fan before I started working on her hand. And this will have to change a little bit, but you know what? I think I'm getting somewhere. Now then, I want to clean up the shape of the bottom here. I just wanted to get the basic idea of what I'm doing with those little sticks in there. But I will start making them actually correct in a moment here. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about the shape that I want things. Will definitely need to be cleaned up, but I think that's the gist. So let's go ahead and get rid of her thumb, and now I will paint this part for real. Okay, what do fans look like again? No. I'm not painting that part for real yet. I lied. First, I need to get the bottom of this, because right now I just have it one straight shape, and that's weird. So, okay. What do fans look like again? Okay, so I should take it as... tricky. Okay, so I'm going to assume that the sticks here, like, go inside here, so there's the white, I don't know, paper-esque things. I'm assuming a fan's made out of paper is on both sides of the stick. The stick goes up the middle. And so it'll disappear into the paper here. And the part where it folds back just has no stick in it. Which seems reasonable to me. And let's see. I'm just checking references of Yuyuko here. But I do not see any particular pattern on the base of her fan. Let me check her spell card background. Where are they? I'm just going through the wiki here. Here we are. I'm kind of limited in what I can see in that, but yes, it is just the fan, nothing about the base, so I can do whatever I want with these sticks. I just know they exist because that shows up in her fighting game sprites. Also, fans generally look like that, so... Okay, but what I can see of Japanese fans here is that it probably just all connects down to the bottom. Which is going to be covered by her hand, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So. I'm going to make the wooden part about the same width as this part. And I'm going to bring them all together, let's say about here. So right about here is where they're going to meet. I have picked this point arbitrarily, but it seems reasonable to me. Yeah, that seems pretty okay. I think I'm actually just going to clear that. I want them to connect in her hand, but her hand can move as much as I want it. Right here seems pretty central to everything. And just due to the extreme curves I have going on here, I think I wanted to favor the right a little bit. Okay. Got something going here. I still need to get the shape of the bottom, but I want to do some very basic things here. Super, super basic. Just to help me see a little bit. Okay, seems okay. Okay, and now... Hoo boy. What I think makes sense is that this side comes up. It should be parallel with what I have up here. So this side will come up, and then this side will come down. And this side will go up, and this side will go down. And up, and down. And up, and down. Oh, and I have another one there. Okay, I almost missed that one. And up, and down. And up at the edge. Yeah, I think that makes sense. This part still a bit messy, but you know what? I think I've got enough to go on. So this part goes up. This part I'm going to bring a little further down, just so I can bring this a little bit further up. This will come down, and this will come up. And this will come down, and this will come up. Okay. And this part is just going to go in the back, so I think this is fine. Looking fan-like. Alright. Now then. At the angle we're seeing the fan, I believe that we see the sides of the sticks like this. So you see it from that side. This one is going to be on top. And now this is where I start connecting everything. Most of this is going to be covered by the hand, so I'm not real worried about making it clean for now. I just want to have the basic idea of how they all connect together. And then, like, strictly speaking, there'd probably be something holding them all together here, like a big screw or something around there. And how they connect now doesn't actually make sense. But it doesn't have to. It just has to be close enough. And, like, in theory, all these sticks should be closer to the same size. And should probably be overlapping each other a little bit more and that kind of thing. And if things look strange, I will probably revisit this. But I want to see how much is covered by the hand first. Okay. So this should be okay. And now, I should, in theory, be able to kind of get back to her hand, now that I've taken a small break. Alright. Man. I'm gonna group these together into a fan group. Oh, it did not think I was trying to name that. There we go, and I'm gonna reduce the opacity on it so I can see the hand again. And I think I'm just gonna clear what's there. I'm gonna take my two colors. I am going to hide the thumb. I'm going to look at her wrist. And in theory, like, a hand should come out here. So her wrist should be right around here, I think. Let me go hide the fan entirely and just kind of connect it to her arm the way I want first. Because the fan can still move around. Okay. And so that's going to be like where her palm and wrist are, because her palm is sitting on top of her wrist at this angle. I will go ahead and actually connect her arm correctly here. Most of it is sitting behind her sleeve, so we don't see it. And now I'm looking into my mind's eye again. And there's like this little bump at the bottom of your palm where your thumb connects to the rest of your hand, and I don't know what those parts are called. But it's just to the side of the meaty part of your thumb. There's a small bump there. And I like to use that as kind of a landmark for where thumb bits go. So we have her thumb's gonna come out over here, in theory. Or at least that's how I have it drawn right now, but I'm not sure if that's actually correct. Where do I want her thumb to be coming out? It's gonna be more like this, I think. We had a little bump there. Now I'm gonna make it the shape of a palm. The joy of complicated hand poses. Okay. And then this is gonna be like the meaty part where her thumb comes out, but it's gonna be coming out forward. And I also think I have her hand backwards again. Do I? I told you, I draw hands backwards all the time. It's one of my drawing bad habits, so I'm trying to make sure I understand what I'm doing first. And part of the reason that I might be having trouble drawing this hand is because I don't. Let me turn the fan on for a second here. So it's going that way, she's holding out the fan, spinning around, all elegantly and cool. I guess the hand could be good. The hand could be going either way. So if I'm finding the thumb too annoying to draw, I could do it like this instead. where I just... Sure. Let's try it. I bring the hand out over here instead. This will be the back of her hand then. And then I bring some fingers out, and... Thumb is... pointed away from the body at this angle, I think. So her thumb would be, like, back here. And therefore, her pinky would be on the side closest to the body. Alright, let me take a look at pictures again then. Okay, in that case, we wouldn't actually see the palm. So let me drop the palm back there. I don't know where Krita just decided to put it. Okay, just put it behind the sleeve, which I think is actually not correct. There we go. So, and then we'd have like fingers coming up here, so this would be an index finger. Over here would be a pinky. Let me draw this in shadow color. Actually, no. I would want to draw this part in shadow color. There we go. And I'll see if this is any easier than trying to just draw the thumb. No, I don't want to do it like that. I want to think about how they're coming up the backside of her weapon here. Or not weapon, the fan. That's right. I'm using a fan-based weaponry as a reference, but in this case, I mean, I guess she too uses fan-based weaponry, but I wasn't thinking of it as a weapon. I was just thinking of it as a fun dance. So it'd be something kind of like this, maybe. And I think that I need some fingers going in the back here. It's sized wrong, but is it otherwise okay? Let me turn the fan back up. Yeah, it seems good to me. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do it like this then, because I think I can draw it either direction. I think her hand can be going either way, so you know, this works for me. And then I'll just drop her thumb. I'm probably just gonna redraw her thumb, but oh yeah, I'll just clear that layer then, and I'll drop her thumb back here somewhere. It'll do a thing like this. Okay, yeah, this works for me. Yeah, this works for me. And I think it looks like she's holding on to it. And then I just connect her hand to her wrist back there. Something like that, maybe. I'm sure it'll look much nicer once I actually figure everything out and get everything working together. And I think she still looks cute with pink nail polish. So I will go ahead and use her eye color. And I always like to use the angle of where her fingernails sit as a way to help me draw hands. It's one of those things that helps me see, so I tend to add them fairly early, even though they change a lot. I don't actually think that the one on the pinky will be visible because I think her pinky is going to disappear behind the ring finger here. So you know what? At least this time, the reason that I'm reversing the hand is not because I drew it backwards. It's just because I decided I wanted it to twist this direction. And you know, as long as it's a conscious decision, it's fine. But yeah, I think I find this angle a little bit easier to draw, and I don't think it looks bad. I do think I have to move some things, though. Because I think everything kind of has to come down here now. Oh, I need to move the nails too, yes. Which honestly is fine by me. Now I just have to make sure I'm not drawing the hand backwards here. Okay. Does her pinky go on that side, or should the pinky be close to her body? Is the thumb on top, or on the bottom? Currently I have it drawn with it on top, but I think it actually should be at the bottom if I'm twisting her hand this way. Give me a moment to think about that. Today is just a super scuffed drawing day because, man, I haven't drawn a hand holding something in a while. So I need to picture the spin in my head. She's spinning this direction. Yes, going that way. Whoosh. Over there. And that's from the back. This side goes that direction. Yes. This, by the fan, is going this direction. This is correct. This is, the fan is absolutely correct. I'm quite happy with it. And so, if you're holding something, and it's twisting that way, thumb is on bottom. Yep, I have it backwards. Alas. That's okay, though. I think I can do mostly the same thing. I just need to change the length of a few of the fingers. And also, the thumb... it needs to be over here. Which means that it won't be visible at all. Okay. So I hide the nails for a sec, this becomes a pinky. So I just make it a little bit smaller, a little bit thinner. And then I do a couple of things that just give it a pinky-like quality. Which is mostly in how it bends, because I don't know about you, but I have way less control over how my pinky bends than I do pretty much any other finger. I think my ring finger I have slightly less control than my pinky, but not much. And so, I think I want the pinky to be straighter. So I will bend it at the base, but not at the joint level. And then you are going to become the ring finger, and thus... I think this angle's fine for you. You will be bent. But little pad on the tip of the finger. And then this one, middle finger, is going to be behind the ring finger, but it'll be very, very slightly longer. And index finger is just going to be bent back here. And it will go behind all the other fingers. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and draw out where the middle finger would be if I was gonna draw the entire thing. And now I can put it behind the ring finger here. I think all her fingers are looking a little bit sausagey and thick, so I'm gonna have to fix that, but one thing at a time here. I want to make sure that I have the perspective right. Alright, let's put her nails back on. I don't know if I want them to be, this shade of pink yet. But this is a place to start, so this is fine for now. This still looks like it's twisting a bit strangely. I don't like it. Okay. I'm gonna draw a new hand. So rather than having this weird twist to it, I'm gonna take her palm here, and you know what? I'm gonna try to make this simple. We're gonna take her palm, and we're gonna let her fingers be all stretched out. So pinky, got an index finger here. They're just gonna be all stretched out, because that is easy to draw. Even if the other pose maybe makes a little bit more sense, I think that this will be fine. And so I'm gonna go see if I can draw it like this and still have it look okay. Go ahead and put some shadows on the side here. Pinky's a little bit long. Should I call it today? Today we flail at hands. While I try to figure out a hand pose that works for me. Now I'm like, I don't know, man. I think it makes more sense with the thumb in front. Okay. You know what? That's okay. I'll go back to trying to figure out the thumb. I can't make the hand the other way work. Okay. So let me go back to my initial reference here. It's alright, I tried something. It didn't work the way I was hoping, but that is also okay. I'll just go back to my initial thought here. I think it looked better. So we got a thumb. And it's just doing its thing over here. And then we got a hand, and it's gonna do a thing over here. Then we got a finger on the side of here, doing a thing. And the rest of the hand is doing a thing back there. Okay, how's this gonna work exactly? Maybe I'll rename this video Struggling with Hands. I'm just gonna try to get a little bit of structural drawing in here. So, we have her arm here. This is where the wrist comes out. I'm gonna make it white. Okay. This is where the wrist comes out, which means that her hand kinda sticks out from this. And we get palm shape kinda like this, but that would be if her hands were sticking straight out, which is not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is there's a fan in her hand, and her fingers are coming out holding the fan. And we got a thumb holding the side there. But this doesn't really look like it's holding the fan, so that's not quite right. See, like I said, I have always struggled with perspective. We have a wrist here. And her palm does kind of come out like that. It's not straight on. If it was straight on, we'd have the wrist and then the palm would just be larger, and then her fingers would just kind of come like straight toward us, but that's not quite what I'm doing. Her hand is not just pointing right at us like that. It's tilted a bit, which I suppose means that her palm is actually doing a little bit more like this, and the base of her fingers are probably somewhere around here. But if her thumb is in front, the thumb is on top. Did I have her thumb wrapping around it the wrong direction? Or do I just need to have the fingers wrap around it more like this? With her palm back there and her thumb like that. Like, did I have it right when I was putting her thumb, or her thumb behind and her hand on the front? I don't know anymore. Why is this at, like, lower opacity? Okay, I see. Alright, I will feel it out. But yeah, overall, top on bottom does feel weird. Kinda does put a twist in her arm. Which I do believe means that the thumb is the part in front of the fan. I'm gonna hide that layer for now. Thank you. Yeah. It has just been a while since I have drawn a hand holding something. So, the flailing begins. But it's alright. I will work through it eventually. I just need to figure out how all the pieces connect. And I am very much not good at perspective. It's okay, I'm working on it. But it's like if I just stuck her hand out, I could draw it pretty easily. It just, for whatever reason, figuring out how to get her hand around the fan is breaking my brain. Even when looking at some of the various references that I have, it's still just... I don't know, man. Perspective is hard. I didn't find one in this exact pose that I'm drawing. And I do not have a fan to hold, so I was not able to take a proper picture myself. So all I can do is look at hands in similar poses and try to make sense of it. But this is what I get for trying to combine extreme foreshortening with a pose I have not drawn in a long time. But it's okay, extreme foreshortening is fun. I don't know, maybe I can... get rid of that for now, but maybe what I can try instead is having most of her hand, like, down here. Have the thumb come out here, and then... we have a wrist a little further down. And I just do it like this. Okay, I don't have to draw the exact same pose as long as it does what I want it to do. And then we'll have a finger back there. Okay, I can kind of see this. Let me put her fan back on. It'll look strange for a second, but it's okay. It's not going to look any stranger than what I've already had. Okay, and if I do it like that, I will want to move the fan up a little bit. And in that case, I think I should probably actually draw most of this on my back layer here. I'll go ahead and draw it in a dark color for now, but I will normalize the colors by the end. And then I just draw some fingers that we can kind of see back here. And in that case, I can largely ignore the rest. So if we have... This puts the thumb on the bottom, though. I don't know if I like that. There. Now thumb is on top again. Easy fix. Okay. Okay. You know what? I think that's workable. So I'll go ahead and hide these for a second. I guess I'll keep the thumb on. And let the big meaty part kind of sit right here. Come up and out a little bit. And then yeah, what I have here kind of tracks with what my hand does when I try to hold something. So if we have a palm, it's going to be a bit shorter than it otherwise would be because it's coming out. And then this is going to be like the top. And I'll go ahead and put fingers on. This one's going to come out here. We have another one up here. I won't worry about getting these perfectly proportionate or anything, just enough for me to understand. I'm gonna hide the thumb again. I kind of need to see, but I can see this. This makes sense to me. I'm gonna bend the fingers just a little bit. Because I think it makes sense with the perspective I'm going for. You can kind of see the bending on the fan. I want to do something similar with the fingers. And while fingers do not actually bend like this, I think it'll make her look more fooshy. So I think it'll look better in the long run. The energy of the movement is more important than the accuracy. And they'll be a little bit shorter because this is going to be like the front, and if I were going to put a nail on it, it would be just barely sticking out of the back. You'd see something like that. Let me make it blue just so I can see it. Yeah, kind of like that. So this is like the top of a finger, kind of like this is the top of a palm. I'll go ahead and draw them all in just very roughly. I don't know, I think this makes sense. As much as it needs to. I'm not sure if it's big enough, but I think that it's okay if it's not. Okay, I want the thumb to be bent a little bit more. I want that to be holding on to the fan for dear life here. Okay, I think this is fine. Let me go give her a fingernail. It's gonna start like right here and kind of come up. Gonna do that. Okay, I think this makes sense. Now to get the shape of the back of the palm right. Where we have the meaty part of the thumb kind of coming in here. And then it does this and comes up into the fingers. And this part does not exist. This part is just thumb. Okay, and then arm. Make sure that we connect it over here. Okay, and I'm not gonna clean it up a lot, but I do want to show where the bottom of the thumb is. And then it kind of connects into the meaty part here. And on the hand itself, I think this part should be lit a little bit. The rest can just be in shadow. I'm looking a little bit long. I think I gave it an extra joint. So that I should do something about. Let me see. I'm kinda gonna come up like this. There's like a little... It looks a little bit more square. That's the best way I can describe this part. It looks a little bit more square. I changed my mind on the angle of the thumb. This is why I like drawing the fingernails. Because... You know what? I can't see the pink very well, so I'm gonna make him a dark... I shouldn't use blue, because I'm using blue here. Okay, we use pink. We use pink and then I invert the color. Okay, it's green now. So I'll use this green color until I'm ready to finalize my colors. Just so that this way I can see a little bit better. Okay. Do I like the thumb going at that angle, though? I don't think I do. No, I don't. Not at all. Okay. And if that's the case, then I very much want to keep it going this way, and I should adjust the rest of what I have drawn accordingly. So we're going to be seeing the thumb from kind of straight on. Which means that I do not draw the little part of the fingertip. And yeah, it's more like a little thumb mountain. Where the sides are thick and curvy, and the center is thin and straight. This is how I see the world. And then I guess if I'm doing it at this angle, we do not see this much shadow. The shadow is thinner until we get to about here. Does that look like she's holding on to it? Okay, I think I want to make the top part a little bit thicker here. I'm gonna size the nail slightly differently. It's a little bit big. Okay, and then I think I just make the hand a little bigger. And it's okay, question mark? No. I don't think it is. Okay, I'll move the thumb around a little bit more. I think the shape of the thumb is okay. Let me mess around with the location a little bit. Do I want it at the bottom? This is one advantage to just drawing out a bunch of layers, is that I can kind of move things around and rotate it as I please. And it lets me try things. Various locations, various angles. I can even flip it vertically if I am so inclined. If I want to try it down here. I do know that I want the tip to be on one of the sticks. I don't know, does that look okay? Let me see how it is on this side. Like the rest of it, I think I have pretty well. It's just, man, the hand is not working with me. Okay, I'm gonna look a little bit more closely at my reference again. And gonna pull her hand around. I'm gonna break out the liquify tool. It is time. I do not think it is necessarily the thumb's fault that things are looking wrong. All the pieces do work together, after all. Okay. And then once again, the thumb I drew is at a slightly different angle than the one in my reference, so I kind of have to try things and find the spots that are different. But okay, I think this is looking a little better. I think it's looking a little better. Alright, I think I'm getting somewhere. Slowly but surely. I have always said that my art can try to slow me down, but I always win in the end. Just because I don't give up. Okay, I think this looks alright. Yeah, I think this looks alright. And then maybe if I No, wrong layer. Definitely don't want to be drawing there. If I exaggerate this bump just a touch... Pretty sure I did that the first time and then changed my mind. But now I'm changing my mind again, so I'm putting it back. I will change my mind as many times as necessary in order to get this to look right. Okay, I think that looks alright. And I need to hide the fan for a second, so this way I can make sure her fingers are attached in the right place. Yeah, we'll let the pinky stick out a little. Pinky stick out. It makes sense. It's all good. Okay, this seems fine. I'll leave it like this for now. I'll go ahead and invert the color on her nail again, just so it's at least a little bit cute. Get it sized a little bit more correctly. Make it at least a little bit proportionate, and I'll leave it like that for now, and I'll see how I feel about it tomorrow. And if this looks fine tomorrow, I'm gonna call it good, and I'll go ahead and render it. Let me go ahead and get the colors on the fan back then. And I've got a little bit of time, so I guess I'll try to draw the border around, and I think in order to do that, I'm gonna have to give myself a little bit more space. So I'm gonna go ahead and resize the canvas a little bit. I'll give myself like 500 pixels. That should be enough. Yeah, I think that'll give me enough space to do what I want at the bottom here. Oh. Okay, good. I was like, oh no, did I mess up where the center was, but no. It just was not centered. Okay. So I decided how I want to do this, and as you might expect, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I just want to do a nice little decorative thing at the bottom here. And once again, I'm not going to be too concerned about getting this totally smooth. Why are you mirroring over there? Okay. Whatever happened, that was weird. It's not happening anymore. So what I want to do, I need a shadow color first. So I will grab that. Wow, that's really dark. Use a lighter purple. Maybe this is one more suited for multiply then. Or I can use a lighter purple. Yeah. So generally the way I decide if I want to use overlay and a dark purple or multiply and a lighter purple to pick colors is how saturated I want the color to be. Overlay with a dark color makes it way more saturated, which is why I use it more often, because I like my bright colors. And multiply with a lighter kind of gray purple will make it less saturated. Okay, so I wanted to do something like this, where I just kind of let them cross over. And I will put some little buds down there. I swear I am just running into all the Krita bugs lately. It's been a while since I've run into a bug with this program, so I am surprised. I can't really do it with the mirror tool on, because I need them to... Yeah, like this. I need one to be in front and one to be in back, and that is not symmetrical. So that'll probably be something I go in and add closer to the end, and just a couple of little branches out here. Maybe one out here like this. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna leave it pretty thin down here. And then what I want is I want to clear out some of these. I want tiny little buds. Oh, I have the layer locked. And I want tiny little buds on some of these. Slightly bigger ones over here, but still buds. And then some larger flowers over here. I have to remember how they look. Pretty sure... Oh no, I don't actually. Yeah, they're 5 points. 5 points with some stamen in the middle, so I'll go ahead and put the first one out here. They are round with little cut right there. I just want the general shape here. Not gonna go too hard on it. And then some smaller ones kind of all around here. This will look better once I have shadows and stuff. But right now, I just want to make sure that I enjoy the composition. Large one over here. And smaller ones over here. I want a branch coming down here. With some more tiny little buds. And I think I want another... nah. I'll leave it like that. I think that'll look good once I have it all right. Clear out some things here. And now let's straighten out the branches. I want some to come into the circle. But most of them I want to stay on the outside. I'll put some kind of knots in the wood and whatnot. They may or may not end up being relevant, but it's fine either way. And I want it to be fairly straight. I had lots of curves in there. And I want it to kind of have the illusion of being curved. But at the same time, trees are straight. At least this kind of tree is very, very straight. So I need my curves here to technically be straight. Just clear everything on the top here. I'll redraw the whole thing. Even though it's going around a circle, I still need to keep everything pretty straight. And then in some of those places where I have some natural bumps, I'll go ahead and put more branches out. I'm not sure if I like this one. I'll leave it there for now, but he might get axed. I will cut down that tree if necessary. And then I'll put a nice little pattern of some kind here. I don't know. I don't know. This seems alright. Just something nice. It'll probably take me a couple of tries to get something I like there, but I will try. And I will keep going until I'm satisfied. This kind of thing is important. It's the border, right? I gotta get it right. It's not a focal point, but I think it's still kind of important, and indeed. Do not like this guy. Disrupting the roundness. I must keep the round energy. It's very important. Okay, this seems alright. I'll just go ahead and put flowers on it. I'll mostly just focused on getting the size of the various flowers and their locations good. Not too concerned about their shape for the time being. Maybe a few points with some buds. And I don't want the entire thing to just be totally covered in flowers. I want some spots where it's just the trees. Or just the branches. And I definitely don't want it to be too homogeneous. Because then it'll get repetitive and kind of boring. I do want it to be symmetrical, though. That's why there can't be a blossom on every branch. Otherwise, it'll just kind of get boring. I'll just put some small ones up here. Maybe a big one right in the middle here. With some kind of smaller ones out here. And some little buds. Yeah. Over here, I'll keep a little bit more bare. Hello there, Anubis. Just drawing some flowers. I like drawing flowers. They're fun. Oh. Thank you. I've been going. I just spent like the past hour molding on hands. Normally I don't have a bunch of trouble molding on it with hands, but today, man, it's just been a while since I've drawn someone holding something. So, I had problems. But it looks like I am still gonna finish my goal of getting the fan and the border done. This is Yuyuko Saikyoji from Touhou. But no, not an original character. She is from a game. Okay, yeah, I think this is probably good for now. I guess I'll go give it a few shadows and stuff. I might add a couple more blossoms to some of the tips of the branches here. But let's get some nice shadows and stuff first. I'm not going to draw this like I normally draw wood because I want all the nice wood patterns to be in a lighter color, so I'm just trying to focus on where I think shadows are. And I think I also want to keep the inner part closest to Yuyuko here a little bit darker. Yeah. I admittedly have not played in a very long time, but I do enjoy the character designs. Okay, yeah, that seems fine for what I have. I don't want to do any, like, cast shadows from where the flowers are yet, because I only know, like, the general gist of their shapes right now. So it'd be kind of a bit of a waste to go into too much detail for the moment. Okay, and I'm gonna take my light purple. Music is quite good. It is true. Okay. So once again, just putting in some shadow areas, just, again, getting the gist. Not doing anything serious here. Just trying to make this a little bit less nonsense than it currently is. I think this one is a bud, and here too. So, starting to kind of pull out where these various plants are from the mass that I currently have. Thank you. It's okay. It's all just gonna be scribbles for a little while. But eventually they will all make sense when I go back and clean it up. That's just probably not gonna happen for a little while. I might do it before I really start getting into her dress, but I definitely want to do her face first. I have been resisting the urge to draw her face for a long time. Well, only somewhat resisting. I did do a large portion of her eyes and hair last time, because I wanted to. But today I had the energy in me to actually go in and finish up some of the things that I just needed to do, like the hands that had been driving me crazy. Today was just basically flailing at hands, so I'm glad that I can do a little bit of scribbling on the border here. Okay, I think this is fine for now. I will go ahead and get some of the asymmetrical parts here in. Which side did I have going over? Yeah, this is right. So this is slightly asymmetrical by necessity. Alright. And then I think up here will also be slightly asymmetrical by necessity. If I want things going over and under each other, cannot necessarily be symmetrical. Okay, that's fine. I'll just keep practicing. You'll probably get them eventually. That's just how the brain works. Just gotta keep trying things. Okay. Oh yeah, and a little bit more down here. It's like, now I can just pretty easily scribble on shapes like this, but... you know, it took me a while before I could actually properly get to that point. And I don't like this, so I'm gonna put a little flower on it. Over here needs a little bit more flower too. And I mean, and if you want to see some real flailing, watch the VOD and watch me try to draw this freaking hand. Okay, but there we go. I think I got it the way I want. Hooray! I'm gonna crop off some of the excess. I do not think I want to use the crop tool for that though. So I'm going to go ahead and resize the canvas. I'll take off like, I don't know, 100 pixels or so at a time. Actually, I think that might have affected the center. It's very important that... Okay, no. This should be right. It should take off from both sides, yes. It just... This got moved off center. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I want to keep things symmetrical, but I want there to be a few less transparent pixels there, so I'm just gonna shave off like 100 at a time. And... make sure nothing gets cropped out improperly. Okay, a little more. I am bad at judging widths or distances, so I just prefer to keep it safe and take it slow. I don't want it to get completely to the edge, but I just don't want there to be that much space. Yeah, there we go, that should be good. And if you're in the center, if I mess around with stuff on this side... Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure that the center is still the center. And now I will do something similar with the bottom. Okay, 100 is actually too much for the bottom. Oh, did it the wrong way. There we go. Okay. Alright, I think that's about how things are gonna look. I'll see if I like the hand tomorrow. It'll probably go from there. I still got a little bit of time, so... You know what? I'm gonna clean up her face a little bit. But there we go. I think I've at least got the gist of how I want the border to be, and everything else here seems mostly finalized. I still don't know if I like the background color. Thank you. Still don't know if I like the background, but that's okay. I will deal with that some other time when my brain is a little bit less fried from flailing. So you know what? Let's make her jawline look nice here. Oh no, not purple. I'm making her face just a little bit round, as I can tell that the original author typically just drew a circle for the head and called it good. So I kind of want to pay a little bit of an homage to that. And make her face a little bit round. And besides, round faces can be quite cute. And I will try not to fixate on the parts that I already know are going to be under the hair. I just need to make sure that I had the bottom jaw shaped right. And I couldn't do that with her hair covering the whole thing. I needed to see it. Oh man, it's exciting because I think next time I'll finally be able to start turning this into the style that I want it to be. Make it start looking like stained glass. Because right now it just looks like my standard anime style. But soon it will change. And I'm very excited. I do not think I have style experiments in me today, though. But hopefully I will have them in me tomorrow. I think I'm just gonna... You know what? I'm gonna do it on another layer, but yes, I think I'm just gonna redraw the whole nose. Let me make it a color I can see easily. I just want it to be a little bit smaller. And maybe I'll put a little light on it. Oh, that's not a good color, though. That's fine. I can leave it like this for now. Let me make it, since we're seeing the kind of a bit of the bottom of her nose, I will make it just a bit larger than a small dot, but not much. There we go. Oh man, now I can finally fix the shape of her mouth. I've been staring at it for a while, but it hasn't bothered me enough to make me actually want to go back and do it. But still, I will be very happy to finally get this right. Just a little bit thinner. And you can see how all those little blurry edges there is just from flailing and resizing things a fair amount in order to get the proportions right, so that's why I always say that I like to sleep on things for a night before I decide if I like them or not. Because if I need to resize things or spam the liquify tool to push things into place, things are gonna get blurry. And then I have to draw them again. And if I had rendered them before that, then that is just a bunch of wasted time. So gotta make sure things are looking right before I go in and make them look nice. Yep. It's pretty good. Very useful. Being able to look at things with fresh eyes does way more than you might think. Oh man, is her chin too big now? No, I think this is still right. Let me... No, this is okay. Okay. I was just like, oh no, I have to move the mouth up. Is her chin gonna be too big now? But no, I think this is accurate. Man, I'm so looking forward to properly painting this face. I am so looking forward to it. Oh, congrats. Oh yeah, I imagine so. 3D rigging is not easy. Yeah, it's great. And I can guarantee that whatever you learned there, no matter what you do in the future, even if you never touch 3D modeling again, you will still take the knowledge gained there into everything else you do. There is no such thing as useless knowledge. The heck are you? How did you get there? Oh, whatever. what kind of character did you make? Like, what does the character look like and that kind of thing? Alright, so kind of the character in your icon there, your profile picture. Oh yes, being very, very cute. Super important part of the chibi form. Oh, that's cool. I wish you luck with all that. I hope everything goes well. Oh, excellent. Yeah, sometimes getting things to track well is not always easy. Especially when rigging things yourself. I had to pull a few shenanigans in order to get my model the way I wanted it to be, so... here we are. Well, I'll definitely have to check it out once you do decide to debut. Whether you have a, like, proper debut or not. Like, personally, I decided not to. Just because building social media hype was super painful for me, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and start streaming. And so I just went right into drawing a picture. I did not try to do anything special. I mean, especially for Blender. Blender is, like, probably one of the best put together open source projects. Ah, I see. Okay. But yes, I personally think that the way Blender's been managed should be, like, goals for anybody managing an open source project. Because it's both an excellent program and the community support for it is top-notch. Makes me wish I had more interest in doing 3D myself. But I have a vast, vast preference for 2D. So, here we are. Alright, with everything a little bit thinner, the proportions on her face need to be a little bit different. Which does mean that her jaw might be a little bit wrong now. Let me push that in a little bit, and I want to keep the hair roughly proportionate, so I will do them together. This does mean I'm gonna have to go back and clean up the hair a little bit, but, oh well. Things happen. Okay. I think this is looking pretty cute. I think I can be pretty happy with this. All right. Is there a technique to how I shade? I wouldn't say that any of this is properly shaded for now. What I currently have is just... So, when a lot of people sketch, they... Let me just put a layer on the background here. You know, they might, like, draw lines for where this stuff should go, and then have, like, the shape of the head in here, and, you can tell that this is not how I sketch. And then, you know, maybe they start drawing some hair and stuff and put the eyes here and what have you. Yeah, this isn't how I roll. What I do when I want to draw a head is I draw a head shape, I put a shadow on it, and then I get the shape of the jaw in. So this is what you see here. And then eventually, I like, okay, eyes are gonna go like here, and I'm gonna put like eyelash color here, and it'll be great. And I leave it like that. So this is basically what you see here. The distinction for me between rendering and sketching, very, very thin. And I think it's especially clear in the hat, because literally, the reason that this is like this right now is because I couldn't picture what it looked like without saying, okay, I have a light spot here because this is on top, and a dark spot here because this is on bottom. And so this is literally just for me what a sketch looks like. And then I just clean up the sketch. In terms of how I actually shade things. Yes. It's like the... It was pretty clear in the fan here, because I needed a point where, okay, I'm like, this part is hitting the light, and this part is moving away from the light. So this part is lighter, and this part is darker. So what I see isn't like lines and volumes that a lot of people do, it's light. So I only shade things in such a way as to see the structure via the shading. So for me, it's like, shading is just what makes things look like the things. And eventually what I'm gonna do for this style, I have the reason I wanted to draw this was for a style experiment. I can do a little bit here, is I'm gonna take this head color, and I'm gonna find a light color here. Gonna make it a little bit yellow, and we'll make it really light. Yeah, you know what? Maybe making it pure white actually makes sense here. And I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna, like, put this pure white line around things. And it's gonna be, like, kind of like that. And eventually I'll do something similar for her hair, so let's take her hair a little bit here. And I'm gonna take my nice light yellow here. I don't know if I like that color for it, though. Maybe I should just use screen with the hair color itself. Yeah, that's a much better color. And I'm gonna start, like, putting... Oh, I don't have the layer locked. That's fine. I'll go ahead and just do it like this. Oh, whoops. So this is just kind of quick and dirty, but eventually I'm gonna start putting lines and stuff around this. Just because that's how the style works. I'm doing it in kind of a similar style to the header on my channel. Actually, I've been wanting to do it on her eyelashes here, so I can do a little bit with that. I'll just use the same color. So, I might need a darker color for this. We'll see. So I'm gonna put in, like, thin little lines here. I should probably be doing this on a separate layer. I'm going to. I'll go ahead and merge it all down when the time comes. Okay. I'm just doing it on a separate layer because I don't trust myself to get it right the first time. And it also means that I can easily change the color if I decide I don't like this one. But yeah, this is kind of what I have planned for a little bit later. Once it's actually time to come and draw all this. And it should... I call it a stained glass style because the way it looks at the end kind of reminds me of stained glass. So eventually I'll be coming in and doing something like this. And in a similar fashion, I'm gonna take some of these dark colors or lighter colors and kinda put a little bit more detail in there. None of this is important yet. I have to get the overall structure of everything down before I can start doing stuff like this, because otherwise, you know, if things aren't structured right, it'll just kind of look bad. But yeah, that's kind of how things are going to start looking near the end. And then around her eyes, this is all just super, super basic stuff that I put on just so that I could stand to look at it. I can start cleaning it up a little bit. I do like having the dark ring around the eye, but there's going to be a light one around it as well. And this dark ring that I put around the eye, I make it a little bit thicker up top because I think it looks nice. Yep. Basically. And, I mean, sometimes I leave it like this, this, if I wanted it to have this particular shading style, I could keep going like this. It's just, what's in my head looks a little bit different right now. I picked this character specifically because she has some neat butterfly-based attacks that I thought would look really good in the stained glass style that I wanted to experiment with. I want to experiment with that style because I'm hoping to do something with it for the comic that I'm working on. I want to try to be able to use it for that. I am not sure if it's going to work out because I am very slow at drawing with it. And that is not workable when doing comics. Okay. I still have it on overlay. I do not want it on overlay. I want it on normal. There we go. And then I'll just... No, this has to be way more saturated. Okay, I should pick the color myself. Here. But lighter. And then I just put a little ring around things. No, that still also doesn't work. Okay. I think I know what I have to do. I mean, this is why I'm calling it a style experiment, because I don't know what I need to do to make things work yet. What does hot pink do for me? I like it with a little bit more white. Yeah, the value has to be lighter here, but because her eyes are already so light, that leaves me very limited options that don't just have it immediately blend in with the white part of her eye here. That was one advantage I had when I was drawing myself. Because my scleras are black. Should at least, in theory, be able to do it around the pupil, though. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that currently is existing in my head. And you can tell that I am not used to drawing lines. I am very shaky at it. And I'll probably have to go back and clean this up a lot, but that's okay. It's okay, I'll clean it up as many times as needed in order to get the shapes that I want. This is also why my drawings generally do not have line art, because, I mean, I don't draw with lines. So to me, there is no sketch to clean up. It's just, from start to finish, I just use the same thing. So that is a part of what's making the process of experimenting with this particular style very interesting. Having to actually figure out how to line. It's painful, man. I don't know how people draw line art. Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good when zoomed out. And then I'll probably put some more light and colors and stuff there at some point, but... Actually, I'm not sure if I like that shadow. Let me hide the specular so I can actually see what's going on underneath here. Thanks! I wasn't expecting to do some of this today, but that's fine. I don't mind trying to explain some of what's in my head here. And like I said, it's fine if it takes me a couple of tries. It probably will. I am not used to doing this. And anytime you're new at something, you tend to be a little bit clumsy and not very good at it. Just how it goes. That is exactly why I wanted to draw a little bit more in this particular style, so that this way I could increase my competency with it. And hopefully, eventually, stop being quite so clumsy with it. I still remember when I was drawing my header image and just the sheer amount of time it took me to draw all those clouds on my character design. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to do, go ahead and select the color here, is... Let me find a nice dark color here. Head on over to the purples, because purple is great. Purple is the best color. I think I want more saturation. say that, but no, I don't actually like how overlay's looking. That's a good color. Okay, the other part of this is gradients. I want lots and lots of gradients in various places. So I'm gonna make the top of her eye here a little bit darker. And I will never be able to find this color again. So I should have thought that through before I did this. Because now I'm gonna have a harder time shading that eye. But you know what? That's probably fine. I'll probably end up picking a different color by the end anyway. But yes. So we have it darker on the top, and then select here. Go ahead and get a nice light color here. And then just put some lightness at the bottom. Yeah, so just simple gradient. And then I can go through and, I don't know, add eye details as I please. I don't know how I want it to look yet, so I'll just leave it like that for now. Yeah, I like it. And I think I will do the same for the pupil. Yeah, that is perfect. And the pupil, fortunately, I have another layer, so I can just gradient this as I please. Yeah, so just kind of like that, just small things. And I do plan to put some more details in this part here, but that's basically all I want to do for most of it there. With maybe, I kind of was using a placeholder color here for now. And then something a little bit darker and more purple. Maybe somewhere around there. And just brush the top a little. Yeah, just like that. So yeah, hopefully with any luck, tomorrow I will still like her hand, and then I can do more things like that. And it'll be great. And I have been looking forward to doing that for so long, but I had to be patient. I had to force myself to be patient and make sure that I had the structure of the character looking right before I went in and started doing all these little details. Otherwise I would have had a very bad time. I would have been like, oh yes, look at all these wonderful details that I just drew. Time to destroy them because her head looks wrong. But now I'm pretty confident that her head is correct. So I can safely go in and do all the things I want. And I'm very happy. Okay, but I think that this is probably where I will stop for today. I did the things I wanted. I got the hand, I got the fan, mostly. I mean, this part's not wrong, but... Hello there, Drag, and thank you. Yeah, I really like drawing on stream. It's a good time. Even when I am doing slightly embarrassing things like not being able to handle hands. Unfortunately, yes, I am just getting off here. Well, I wasn't planning on announcing this, but the time I stream probably will change. Relatively soon. Because I have to fix my sleep schedule and be awake at normal people times. My daughter is starting school, in August, and I can no longer go to bed at like 3 p.m. just won't work out anymore. I would be completely absent from her life if I did that, because it's like I'd get her up for school in the morning, and I'd be in bed by the time she got home, so can't do that. And me being awake at normal people times means that I might actually start streaming at normal people times. I know, right? It's terrible. I have to be a normal person. It's okay, it's for a good cause. So, I'm not quite sure what my new time will be. I'm still kind of figuring that out. For now, I'm still gonna do it in the morning. I'll probably start like an hour, maybe 2 hours later than I currently am. And from there, I'll see if that's a good time or if I have to pick a different one. I have no idea. That's why I haven't been talking about it. So I'll figure it out, but the good news is that, you know, for those of you that I stream way too early, well, I'm probably gonna be streaming a few hours later. Maybe many hours later, I don't know. But, so, maybe it'll be a slightly better time. It certainly can't do worse. I've looked at, like, peak streaming times and peak viewership times, and I am, like, in the trench. You cannot go any lower than I currently am. So, I am hoping that will let more people actually be able to watch. And then maybe you can catch more art streams. And it'll be great. Oh, nice. Do you work a night shift then? Oh man, that's rough. Man, your schedule must be as strange as mine then. But yeah, I hope all that'll work out. Well, oh dang, yeah. Even a little bit earlier than me. Oh man, that's rough. Well, good luck. I hope that someday you too can embrace the normal people times. It has its advantages. At the very least, I do look forward to not having people be loud and doing loud things at 5, because that's reasonable for most people. And waking me up and making me sad. But yes. Yeah. It's okay, it's just kindergarten, so she is fine, and her grandparents have already said that they want to go shopping with her, so I will be spared. They are very excited. I think they're probably more excited about all this than she is. Oh, but thank you. It is. It is. And we live within walking distance of the school, so we're just walking there and... Very valid for old folks. Getting to see the milestones of just a grandchild. I mean, that's gotta be wild, because it's not just... Like, it's one thing to have your own kid. That is your decision. But then after that, when your kids make the decision to have kids, and you suddenly see, you get another tiny human in your life, and you get, like, all the good parts with none of the bad parts. They don't have to worry about diaper changes or being woken up in the middle of the night or any of that. They get to sleep at home, and then they get to come over to play. So being a grandparent sounds awesome. I'm hoping my kids decide to have kids. I would like that experience very much. So, they are very excited for everything. And I am too. Oh man, she's gonna go out into the world. This is gonna be like the first time that she's gonna go out and be somewhere, and just, we're not gonna be there to help her out. She's just gonna be off on her own, and I am a little terrified. But I am getting hungry though, so I should probably go grab some food. But, so, thank you all for coming. And I just want to say, if you have trouble drawing things, don't worry, you're not alone. Art is hard, man. But I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.